this, and we work to help each other do that if we possibly can.
Going back to the men thing, tell me about the wench guards.
Well, here at Fair, we have a lot of people who will drink excessively. And usually they are the people who are not dressed up. They're your normal, everyday people that come to Fair and go, oh, look, people, you know, showing off their boobies. I can go be a jerk at them. You know, you want to have somebody there with your back to keep those people from taking advantage of you. Also, they're sort of like crowd control also, and they are also our sort of our docents. People come up and go, so what are they doing? And they will explain what's going on. Like, hey, they're kissing that guy, can I get? No, sir, you have to have someone approve you to do this. Sorry. Yeah, they are very much our buffer when we are doing things.
And can you tell me a little bit about Flo as the new witch madam?
Flo! Many years ago, she didn't even want to be a wench. And, well, first we got her into the guild, and as I was madam, I needed a new target coordinator since I wasn't doing it anymore. And we were having some of that catty backbiting fighting that you think doesn't happen, but does happen. And I knew Flo was not in any one camp. She was, you do get little cliques here at Fair, and so you know which groups are usually always having lunch together, which groups dislike each other, who's dating whom now, who used to not date them, who blasted somebody on their live journal and now is not talking to anybody. I knew she wasn't involved in any of that, was a good, neutral person, and went, you know, she's pretty organizational. I think she would be really good as target coordinator. Yeah, let's get her to do it.
So how has she been? Has she lived up to the wench madam standards?
From everything I've heard, yes, she has. While I was madam, I had to be here every day of Fair, and that got to be a little much. So since leaving, I've been back 3 times. She seems to have everything under, a very, very tightly run ship. So I feel that very capable hands that the group has gone into.
Now, when this is your 18th season, you went from being wench madam to only coming 3 times. Why is that?
Too much of a good, too much of a good thing is too much. You just come to a point in time where the shows are saying there's nothing more to buy, and also I am very sensitive to cigarette smoke, and it has really gotten to be a smoker's paradise here, and I just have a really hard time breathing. So between the heat and the smoke, I just can't, unfortunately, stay at Fair too long anymore. So I maybe go once a year, say hi to everybody, pick up my yearly supply of honey, and that's all I need to do nowadays.
Are you still involved in Team Wench?
I am involved in Team Wench, but from afar. I now live in Kentucky, so I have a new fair to go to.
So you're in Kentucky?
I live in Kentucky now.
And how does the Kentucky Fair compare to this one?
The Kentucky Fair is only 4 to 5 years old, so it's very small. They're still growing, but every year there's more structures. There's more people that come in garb. That was something that was missing for the first couple of years. And they're bringing in more entertainment, including bringing in people from other fairs. So it's growing. It's very small, but it's exciting to see it grow.
So maybe you'll see some of your friends from here go down there at some point.
I hope so, yes.
Danny, do you have anything you want to add? Any questions?
I ask this of a lot of people in different ways. What is one myth or misconception that you would like to clear up about wenches?
And if you could direct that to me, that'd be great.
What is one myth or misconception we'd really like to see go far, far away? That, for me, wench means whore. It doesn't. Wenches are not professional ladies. We do not sell ourselves for sex. We are not loose women. If you were in this bodice, you ain't loose, no way, no how. we're as tight can be. Just because we love showing off the cleavage, just because we are kissing men, does not mean we are sluts. We're not. We are mothers, doctors, army people, teachers. We run the gamut of the entire social world out there, and we are just strong women.
Well, one of the misconceptions that I think needs to also be cleared up is that even though we are dressed like this, and this goes for men and women, we're not something that you can just approach and touch.
Yo, especially kilted men.
That's a big problem for the gentlemen. Yes, they're dressed that way, but would you on the street go up to someone and just accost them? So, no.
Yeah,
we're not available that way.
Yeah, there are traditionally if you're a male wearing a kilt, you go regimental. You do not wear anything under your kilt. Around here, the men have learned. There are so many drunk patrons who just say, "Oh, man in a skirt," flip. Yeah, and it happens a lot. So much so that the management has told that if anybody who works here is wearing a kilt, they must wear shorts under their kilt at all times. They have to, just because it happens so often.
How do you guys feel about one of the things that I've been coming to fair for a long time, back home in Massachusetts where I'm from.
King Richard's.
Fair, yeah. And I've shot there and shot a film there. Actually, now I've been here. And actually, I shot at the Spear in college too for my broadcast journalism class. But something that was always kind of one of the myths that I always knew is that people who come to fair are trekkies or dorks or losers or sexual deviants.
Okay, well, okay. There's this absolutely great bit that Margaret Cho used to do in her stand-up routine. She used is like, there's this weird connection between BDSM people, Renaissance fairs, and Star Trek. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There are many people here at Fair who are into the BDSM community, and they're always like, "But Rachel, you wear leather. Why aren't you into this?" I'm like, not so much into the pain. No, not me. And then there is a large crossover into the sci-fi community, me included. One of the people we know who's a bagpiper here is known as the Kilted Trooper because he is a stormtrooper on times wearing his kilt. And he plays hockey. So, yeah, but yes, there is a lot of crossover. I mean, I will usually walk through Fair and keep seeing people I know from doing the sci-fi, the science fiction conventions, doing the Star Trek conventions. They know me from there, and actually the first time I garbed, in the first time I wore a costume that I'd made, I saw some people in costumes that had just won a masquerade at a science fiction convention a couple months before then. And I had also won in that same thing. I had been doing a Klingon in this competition. I went up to say hi to them, and they're looking going, "Who are you?" I went, "Hold on a second. Do you recognize me now?" And they're like, "Klingon Hula!" Now you got me. So there is a lot of crossover. In fact, I know one of the local Klingon assault groups used to come to Fair one day every year in full Klingon garb and wander around as Klingons all day long going, "We've been on a time trip." And so they would spend the whole day as Klingons here at Fair. So, yes. But the thing is right now, geek is chic. It's popular to be a dork. I mean, look at all the TV shows that are on now that are specifically aimed for the nerd audience. You got Big Bang Theory. It's cool to be a geek now. And so, yeah, we are, but we're proud to be geeks.
But it's like any part of society. You've got all kinds, and so there are also people that are not part of any of the other subcultures. They just happen to like to come to the Renaissance Festival and dress funny sometimes.
So how do you guys feel